for White, and Forsyth linking up cleverly. Goddard. Well, Daly is a real sprinter, and Forsyth found himself the wrong side of Tony Daly. But Derby will be pleased to make Daly defend, when Villa will have hoped to have brought him into the game a little bit more than they have done in the first period. Here he is now. And Wright's got to stretch, Platt's got the better of him, he's round Shilton, right on half-time! A great moment for Aston Villa, when Derby were almost cruising to the break. And ahead of Shilton they relaxed a little. But Platt, who perhaps of all the Aston Villa players this season has been in the best condition, the best form, and it showed. And that was a real moment of opportunism.
We've burst through Winterburn's attempted challenge, a little disappointing in the end. Adams and Richardson able to tidy up. Winterburn cut out by Roberts, and that's late again from Groves, and the referee's got to take action. Graham Roberts in some distress, and Perry Groves is going to be shown the yellow card. Look how far the ball had gone before he arrived, good 10 yards, and that's bad news for Chelsea, because that's the last part that their captain in inspiration will play in this game. Graham Roberts off, John Bumstead will come on in his place. Chelsea just got to settle down and get that Roberts incident out of their mind. Winterburn, Hayes, too long. Oh, now did Moncur handle it? He did. It's a penalty to Arsenal, and only Kenneth Moncur will know why he did that. Clear handball. Rocastle. Oh, great save by Besson. Wouldn't you just know? He's near unbeatable when he's in the mood. Echoes of that famous Wembley penalty save from John Aldridge.
That 9-0 nightmare at Anfield has subsequently produced a real show of character by Crystal Palace. Everton's Colin Harvey admitted Palace were hungrier for the ball in the first half. Ian Wright arriving undetected, his 5th goal of the season after 27 minutes. 10 more minutes, 2-0 for Alan Pardew, a late entrant into the ranks of league professionals. A great moment, his first goal in Division 1. Everton stormed back in the second half, Mike Newell scoring for the 5th game in a row. Palace then under siege, but they held out 2-1.
Millwall, one of the strongest home sides in the First Division. Norwich, unquestionably, the best travellers. They haven't even conceded a goal away from home. Very slick move this, on the counter. Mark Bowen earned them a point last week at home to Spurs. He earned them 3 at the Den to end Millwall's unbeaten home run.
The White Hart Lane crowd were treated to the real Gary Lineker. Paul Stewart and Paul Gascoigne, the supporting cast for his opening goal against Queen's Park Rangers. It was Lineker's first home goal for Spurs. It came with 32 minutes played. Naeem's return from pre-season injury, also valuable for Terry Venables. It was his cross, laid off by Stewart, but Lineker still had plenty to do. But he wriggled clear to beat David Seaman. 2 goals inside 6 minutes. Those early season uncertainties well behind him. But not behind Tottenham, who lost a 2-0 lead at Norwich last week. Rangers rocked them in the second half. Steve Sedgley unwittingly helping on the corner. The scorer, Rangers' latest signing, David Bardsley from Oxford. 2-1 now, and Trevor Francis, the player-manager, again leading by example. Francis with a low shot from a difficult angle. 2-2, 20 minutes left. But Trevor Francis, a hat-trick man himself last week, had to concede the day to Gary Lineker. Sedgley sending Naeem away. Gary Lineker already racing into the centre. Tottenham had won it with just 3 minutes remaining. The Barcelona connection rejoined here. Tottenham's first win since the opening day of the season. Lineker 3, Queen's Park Rangers 2.
There was a hint of caution in the air at Main Road prior to Luton's visit. Don't get carried away after last week's demolition of Manchester United. It was difficult not to after that brilliant opener by David Oldfield, his fourth in 3 games, giving City an early lead against his old club. Now, Luton's first opportunity to reply came after that clumsy challenge by Brightwell. Referee Roger Milford waving away the City protests. Ray Wegley is Luton's new penalty taker. Paul Cooper is City's old hand in goal, and a real specialist in this sort of situation. Reputation well and truly enhanced. Well, Luton, who haven't won away from home so far, got back into it 2 minutes before the break. Kingsley Black's trusty right foot. Having been brought down to earth, City were back in orbit seconds before the referee blew for half-time. Ian Bishop, a scorer against United a week ago, making it 2-1. Well, City clearly adjusting to life in the First Division now. Mel Machin resisted the temptation to recall Neil McNabb at the expense of Ian Brightwell, who repaid his manager's faith with the clincher right on the hour. 3-1 City.
September hasn't been successful for Nottingham Forest or for Charlton. For Forest, 1 point from 3 games, but when Charlton failed to close down Brian Laws, they paid the penalty. Steve Hodge was the architect of the second goal, a splendid run for Lee Chapman to secure the victory. After an excellent August, Charlton's record in September, 4 games, no goals, no points.
Wimbledon opened up at Southampton in typical fashion. Dead ball specialist Dennis Wise lobbing into the 6-yard box for one of the heavyweights, Eric Young. Now, Southampton hit back with a typical Wimbledon move, really. The old saying, it takes a thief to catch a thief, springs to mind. But Wimbledon hopelessly caught out down the middle, and by Matthew Le Tissier's superb balance, control and finish. But when it comes to the Pomo factor, there are no better exponents than Wimbledon. The position of maximum opportunity is the penalty area. In there, anything can happen. In this case, a touch of real class from Dennis Wise. But Southampton deserved the point because they dominated the second half. Matthew Le Tissier's up and under had everyone jumping about at the far post. Amidst the mayhem, a penalty was awarded. Now, Eric Young was adjudged to have fouled Alan Shearer, although Young never took his eye off the ball. Blatant is not a word you'd use to describe that incident. Le Tissier, 2-2, 5 without defeat for Southampton, Wimbledon's 5th draw.